Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to an all-new Crossin streams. As always, I am your host, the real Geno Reynolds. And today, we're going to be finally taking a look at the second half of Season 1 of The Tick. A while back, and I don't even remember when the video was done. I put a link to it in the description below. I reviewed the first half of Season 1 because at the time I had Amazon Prime, and then I didn't. And now I'm getting it again because honestly, I wanted to watch the end of the season, and I have to tell you that as big of a fan as I was of the first half, I feared the second half. I was afraid it wasn't going to live up to what I enjoyed about the first half. I even went back and watched the first half again because I hadn't watched it in a while. And I have to say that after watching all of Season 1, well, it didn't do anything wrong. I loved Season 1 of The Tick. I was afraid it was going to be one of those shows, though, that they were going to do a Season 1, and it was going to have some critical acclaim, maybe some fan acclaim, and then it wasn't going to get to do any more. I liked where they ended the first half. If you want to see my review again, it's in the description below. I'm not going to talk about the first half of the season again. And really, my opinion about a lot of it hasn't changed. When it came to the plot and everything that they had set up, when we finally start to learn what the Terror's plan is and all of that, there was no real surprises. You had the VLM, which is the very large man. I don't want to try to explain all of it and how it happened and everything, but there was this very large man that just kept growing and growing. And of course, you know it's going to be part of the Terror's plot. And you know that it's not going to make sense because he's a madman. And you know it's going to have something to do with killing Superion, which is like the first superhero. So everything kind of went where I thought it was going to when it came to the main plot. Yeah, so there's really no surprises. I knew they were going to tease a love story / love triangle between Dot and Overkill and Miss Lint, because they kept teasing that Overkill and Miss Lint had a love thing. And then, of course, they're teasing that, you know, Dot and Overkill kind of like each other. And Overkill's, his real identity, of course, is exactly who you think it's going to be. And so there's really no surprises. That being said, I was okay with that. I want the show to feel like the old cartoon, as I mentioned in my first half of Season 1 review. I don't need surprises in this. I love the fact that this show feels like the show I grew up with, but for adult me. It's not for the kids. As I said in that review, I wanted to show my kids this, but there's no way I'm going to. At least not yet. I'd rather show them the original cartoon because I think they'd find it funny too. Because it has the same kind of humor, it's just not as adult. Even though there was some adult humor in the original Tick cartoon. Some of the things that they covered in this that I enjoyed, one of the big plots is the Tick's origin. They're trying to find out who the Tick really is, because he kind of mentions that he doesn't remember anything other than for a few days. In the show, he ends up fighting this robot, and for a while he thinks he's a robot, you know, because he's like, oh, me and the robot have so much in common. He starts talking like a robot and everything, and Arthur's trying to convince him that he's not a robot. So there's that. And then the plot of Arthur becoming a hero was exactly what I thought it was, but it was what I wanted. So really, the show just didn't have a lot of disappointments for me. They didn't do something stupid like kill the villain, so Jackie Earle Haley can come back. and I don't want to see him be the next villain. I'd like him to introduce some other villains, maybe some from the show, but from the original cartoon anyway. But now the Terror can come back because he's not dead. I can't stand shows that just decide to kill off their villains. Something I don't think I mentioned in my other review was the product placements. In the first half of season 1, they had a product placement where Ramses, the street crime boss, kept drinking vitamin water, and he would hold it in a certain way to where you can see the logo, and it's kind of annoying. Thankfully, it only happened a couple times. But and they did try to fit it in, like once he was working out, so he needed a drink. It was kind of forced. In the second half of the season, the little whatever house assistants, the Alexa thing, whatever they're called, being that this is an Amazon series, they have the Terror has one of those, and he'll be like, "Alexa, play me ominous music," and it was pretty funny. At least it was funny the way they worked out. And what was really funny about it was Amazon kind of made fun of themselves with this because all of a sudden the Terror would be like, "Shut up, Alexa," and it was kind of funny. So is it forced product placement? Yes, but was it funny? Yeah. So yeah, that's all I really got to say about it. If you like the first half of season 1, you're going to love the second half. Again, there's nothing really unpredictable about it. But if you love the Tick, you're going to love it. If you grew up with the Tick, you are going to love this. And what's fantastic is they have been greenlit for a season 2 sometime in 2019. Granted, they're not going to get 12 episodes. They're only going to get 10. But honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm not saying that the 12 episode felt stretched or anything. But if you cut some stuff out, it probably would have been okay. So 10 episodes is probably more than enough. So yeah, I'm excited that Amazon is going to get to at least continue to make this series for at least another season. Being that the Patrick Warburton one never got off the ground and the original cartoon, I would have liked to have seen more of them. This is a perfect way to continue the series, but also tell new stories. As I mentioned in my first review, now I don't know what kind of rights or anything there are, but I want to see American Made and Deflator Mouse and all of those other characters, because the end of this kind of teased that now that the Tick and Arthur are doing good in the city, that the group that regulates superheroes is now paying attention. So, and also now that there's superhero activity, more superheroes might come in. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I'm looking forward to seeing what villains they bring in. Again, they didn't kill the villains. So, they didn't kill Miss Lint. They didn't kill the Terror. They're available. So they can have them or have also more with it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. Well, that's going to be all for this edition of Crossin Streams. If you like what you've seen here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel, like this video, and if you have anything to say about the Tick, the second half of season 1, or even the first half, feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Until next time, I'm your host, the Real Geno, Geno Reynolds. Spoon.